All right, guys, so there's this absolutely hilarious video out there featuring Jesse Waters and a moderator for the Reddit forum called Anti-Work, right? Which is dedicated to basically people who simply don't want to work anymore, right? The slogan of the group is unemployment for all, not just the rich, which tells you what these people are all about, right? They're about getting paid for not working, okay? They probably don't like capitalism. They're probably communist, a lot of those people there. Now, some people have argued that Reddit forums like this one right here, the anti-work Reddit forum, has led people to quit their jobs, right? AKA the great resignation that we're seeing happening right now, which people basically saying, screw it, I don't want to work anymore, okay? I don't want to work for the man. You know, maybe they become entrepreneurs, maybe they just stop working, period. You know, they realize that, hey, maybe I don't need to work so much. Maybe I can just live off the government, right? But anyways, this conversation that we're going to talk about today is between Fox News host Jesse Waters and Doreen Ford, who is a transgender moderator for the anti-work forum. Now, I think that Doreen here is biologically a male, but he/she identifies as a she. I don't know. But I'm just saying, this interview right here is absolutely hilarious. As you can tell, Jesse Waters is going to struggle to keep his cool and to not lose his ish on camera because he's just not taking this person seriously. And apparently this interview was so embarrassing that it led to a ton of backlash for this moderator who accepted this interview from Fox News. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip. Take a look.
Doreen Ford. All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah, so there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You know, you just quoted from Office Space where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life and that their job respects them and stuff like that. You know, there's varying.
So Doreen, but you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you know you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
what do you think is like a good work day? How many hours is you know a solid work day in your ideal society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how?
Yeah. So
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, you know, I wouldn't be super complaining. You know, dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to, work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly, just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not everything's free, but it is a free country. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We got to run. We got to pay the bills.
All right, guys. So as you can see, that interview was hilarious, right? You can tell Jesse Waters was cracking up on the inside. Like, he did not take this person seriously at all, right? And I don't blame him, because a lot of these anti-capitalism people, which is basically what the whole Reddit anti-work thing is, and what a whole lot of people on the left are, the progressives, they're anti-capitalism. They're simply anti-capitalists because they don't want to work hard, right? That's just what it comes down to. And people might say, oh, that's too simplistic, right? But I really am starting to think that's what it comes down to. Because people that tend to work hard, right, work smart, want to take risks, they tend to like capitalism, okay? It's the ones that want to be paid to do nothing. Those are the ones that don't like capitalism. And then they complain about everybody else who chooses to work hard and is more successful than them, right? That's kind of how it goes. So I think the issue is that, well, they just don't like working hard, and they think that they should be rewarded for not doing anything. That's essentially what this person is arguing, even though they're not necessarily arguing against, totally not working at all. But dude is making an argument that, hey, I don't think we should work as much. And I know that's something that, people have been having conversations about, that Americans work too much or whatever. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to keep it real. You can feel that way, right? You can feel like, oh, I work too much, and that, it takes away from this, that, and the other aspects of life. I understand that. I get that. I 100% get that. And that's probably true. But you got to understand, if you choose not to, right, or if you choose to just work 40 hours a week or whatever, right, like everybody else, you tend not to do more than anybody else, then you can't expect more than anybody else, right? You put in mediocre effort, you're going to get mediocre results. You got to be cool with not being able to live a certain lifestyle if you're not going to work for it, right? So all these people that's like, oh, we shouldn't work so much, there's more than life to work. I'm not saying you're not right, but just understand that you can't ask for any more. You can't complain about the rich, right? And those people who are making money that do work hard. You can't complain about what they have, because you're not willing to put in the work, right? But anyways, this interview was so bad that this guy was fired, right, as the moderator for the anti-work subreddit. And I'm assuming this is his, second job, right, outside of being a dog walker. Who knows? But this guy was fired, right, because apparently he didn't represent them too well. So let's read here. The popular Reddit forum r anti-work, which focuses on ways to reform exploitative labor systems in which users commiserate over pandemic working conditions, has removed a moderator following a contentious Fox News interview. Moderator Abolishwork, real name Doreen Ford, appeared on Jesse Waters' show on Fox News earlier this week. In the aftermath of the text exchange in which the host was openly contemptuous about the movement, the forum went private. A statement from the forum posted on Reddit on Thursday reads, quote, regarding Abolishwork, we are planning to remove her from her moderation duties and have contacted the admins for the removal of her as a mod. We thank her for building up the anti-work movement, but regarding the past incidents, we decided as a majority to remove her. All right, so here's the thing. This is controversial because there are some people that are saying that this person is not being removed because of their appearance on Fox News. They're actually being removed because of some disturbing allegations, right, that have come up about this person, right? Allegations having to do with things I really can't get into, right? You guys can look it up, okay? But they're saying that those allegations are the real reason and not necessarily this Fox News interview. But ever since this Fox News interview, this person and their past has been dug up, and essentially they're being canceled, right? They're being canceled, okay, by the communist left, the people that don't want to work, okay? Ain't it crazy how that works? Okay, the pendulum always comes swinging the other way. Now, I don't know if this person's for censorship or anything like that, but, I'm just saying, a lot of these people that don't want to work tend to be leftists, right? And leftists in 2022 tend to agree with censorship. So I don't know. Our anti-work has been around since 2013, but has surged in popularity during the strains of the pandemic. The community, whose slogan is unemployment for all, not just the rich, has more than 1.7 million users and was the fastest growing non-default Reddit across the site as of the 26th of January. After the interview, the anti-work subreddit was made private with a message reading, quote, "We're closed while we deal with the cleanup from the ongoing brigading, and we'll be back soon. You don't need to request to join. We'll be back real soon, I promise." Brigading refers to a coordinated effort from one group to disrupt another's work on the site. Ms. Ford was lambasted by the users on the site. Quote, "You literally made this sub look so bad and then doubled down off camera," says Mito Shiny Hair wrote. User Corky the Cactus posted that it was an extremely poor decision to participate in the interview, and I don't think you realize how much damage you've done. Quote, "We can't afford to half-ass our opportunities to spread our message," the users continue. "We need someone who is prepared to deliver convincing talking points eloquently to a hostile audience, someone who is trained, passionate, and has plenty of energy, not just any random moderator who's willing to go on TV." All right, so, I mean, here's the thing. Even though I completely disagree with these people's ideology, right? But when it comes to this person right here, I mean, Jesse Waters was laughing at the concept, right, of the whole anti-work thing. Now, this guy or girl, whatever you want to call it, they work, right? They work 25 hours a week, and they feel like, okay, well, I just don't want to work that much. And that's fine. But my only thing is that if that's how you feel, right, and I've said this, then you can't ask for more, right? You can't ask for other people to take care of you because you don't want to work, right? So I don't think that the person necessarily represented the movement in a bad way, outside of the fact that the concept in and of itself, I think, is kind of silly. I think this person actually showed that, hey, not all of these people are completely against working, okay? I think that's what he showed. So I don't think he necessarily represented it in a way that was bad outside of, again, just the overall idea and the concept of not working, okay? But let's read more here. Ms. Ford tried to defend herself on the site, writing, "I have done interviews before, but never live, and I underestimated how different it was. I won't be making that mistake again." She had given an interview in November to The Independent, but declined to comment following the subreddit drama this week. On Thursday, the page appeared to be back online in public with an extensive statement outlining what steps would be taken following the Fox News interview, particularly more transparency and controls. That statement, unsurprisingly, launched a new wave of discourse and criticism. Quote, "People have come to our anti-work from all walks of life and with different ideas of what anti-work means. The most radical ideas, work should be an option to increase wealth, not a requirement for survival, only represent a minority of the spectrum, while active work reform, work respect and dignity, and redistribution of state control via unionizing are by far the majority of goals." User Killings 1978 posted Thursday. Well, if that's the case, then why y'all mad for then? Right? Why y'all so upset that y'all had to cancel this person if that's the case? Because the dude said that, hey, I'm not completely against working. I work, right? So again, if the majority of the views are aligned with that, then what's the problem, right? It seems to me that some of these people might actually be radicals, right? They might actually believe that work should only be an option to increase wealth, aka they should be entitled to other people's wealth, and it shouldn't be a requirement to survive, even though work has always been a requirement to survive, right? That's why the old saying goes, a man that don't work don't eat, because working is how you feed yourself, right? How you accumulate resources. Even before capitalism, going out and hunting was a hard day's work, right? When you had to go hunt your own food, that's working, right? When you had to build your own house, okay, that's work. You still got to work to survive. So again, these people are living in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff La La world, right? And these are 21st century problems, guys. That's what this is. This is first world, 21st century problems. That's what it is. They're also the first steps in any more radical changes in the interest of serving these goals. The mods have routinely failed to recognize this and have stubbornly clung to their radical anarchist views, all while enjoying the clout of modding for a nearly 2 million member sub. Another user, however, was more positive about the entire debacle. Let's be realistic. This drove traffic to the sub, wrote Get Imru, adding that it wasn't good publicity, but it wasn't really bad either. It's an opportunity to present information and arguments that better represent the movement. Don't just hide on the rock that wastes the audience that the interviewer sent to the sub. Miss Ford, a 30-year-old dog walker in Boston who has gone back to college, told the Independent in November that anti-work attracts all kinds of people in all sorts of ways for all different kinds of reasons. Maybe their relationships to themselves with work. A lot of people derive their life's meaning from their work, from their jobs. So people think, oh, I don't have a job, I'm not a human being. That's a bit of an extreme, but some people really do feel like that, or they feel they're less of a person because they don't have a job. They struggle with the purpose or meaning in their life, and I think it's something the anti-work movement can really speak to. It's not the only thing. Now, here's the thing. I can personally attest to that. I mean, when I'm not working, I definitely get paranoid, right? I get paranoid. I get all kinds of anxious just because I feel like if you're not working towards something, then what are you doing, right? There's a reason why there's this like idea or this saying that, you know, when people stop working, right, they tend to die, right? They tend to pass away because it's almost like, what are you doing if you're not working towards something? If you don't have some goals in life, like what are you actually doing, right? I'm just saying, I mean, I personally, in my opinion, I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with being fulfilled by your job and what you do. Now, should that mean you should be a slave to corporate America? Absolutely not. But if you're doing something that you're passionate about, then I don't see a problem with it, right? Being a big part of your life, okay? I don't see a problem with it. Otherwise, you know, if you're working for the man, I can see why people feel the way they feel, but that's why you got to find something that you're passionate about and figure out a way to make some money off of it. And I think anti-work is a philosophy that is a radical one that tries to strike at the systemic issues within capitalism. But I think that intuitive thing where a lot of people are trying to do work-life balance, a lot of people are quitting their jobs, a lot of people are fed up with how their companies may have been handling COVID and stuff like that, are contributing to the swell in online anti-work engagement, she said. AKA people that don't want to work and think that they should just be paid for existing. Okay, and a lot of people have got this idea in their head because Democrats gave out a whole lot of free money last year, right? For you literally not to work. Democrats pay people not to work, okay? And this is what it creates. It creates a society where people think that, oh, well, you know, I shouldn't have to work, right? I shouldn't have to work more than 40 hours a week. But yet they expect, you know, to take other people's money who do work more than them, who do work harder than them. They want a piece of that pot, even though they don't want to actually do work themselves. It's kind of crazy how that works. But, you know, hey, I really don't feel bad for this moderator, right, for getting banned, okay, for, you know, allegedly what he said on Fox News. But, you know, it is kind of hilarious to see the left cancel each other, right, and to eat their own, which is what's happening in this situation. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.